For me, I'm very gentle with how I take down my hair. I'm very affectionate with how I take care of my hair. My hair and I, we go on dates. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eugenia Kelsey. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about why protective styling might not be working for your natural hair. A little bit about me, I started growing my hair from bald and now I think I'm about tailbone length. So I think if anyone is qualified to talk about using protective styling to grow your hair, I would think I would qualify to speak on that. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. So if that sounds like something you would like to know, because it does, because you clicked on this video, let's get into it. So I'm going to have my phone here because I have a list. I do tend to get really passionate about these things and I don't want to sidetrack. So I'm going to have my phone. So in case you see me on my phone, just know that I have a list. Tip number one. Tip number one will be the amount of time and effort you put in your hair pre-styling your hair. And when I talk about this, I mean deep conditioning, moisturizing, and sealing your hair with oil. When people protective style, they do anywhere between 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Some people do as much as 2 months. I usually do around 6 weeks, but that's a lot of time to have your hair tucked away without taking care of it. So before you even get into protective styling, you want to make sure that you deep condition your hair, and deep condition helps strengthen this protein bonds in your hair. And you want to moisturize your hair to make sure that it's not dry. When it's dry, it's more prone to damage. And then you want to seal in with an oil or butter to make sure that that moisture is locked in. For oils, I prefer avocado oil, grapeseed oil, or jojoba oil also really works great. Tip number two is actually something that I picked up from interacting with you guys, my subscribers, my clients, my friends, is that some stylists require you to come with your hair pre-stretched, straightened, or blow dried before they would style your hair. And that's especially towards like my 4C girls. And this makes my blood boil because a stylist is supposed to shampoo your hair, is supposed to deep condition your hair, and then braid your hair or style it anywhere like you want it to. Stay away from stylists that require you to come with your hair pre-stretched and blow dried, because if you have to straighten your hair every time you get your hair braided, and if you're getting your hair braided or cornrowed every month, that's immediate heat damage. Like, there's no way you're not going to get heat damage for continually putting heat on your hair. Stay away from those stylists. Like, I don't want to go into depth because I don't want to call nobody out, but that they don't be doing that to people with the loose curls. It'd be us with the, you know, a little bit coarser hair, a little bit thicker hair. Like, stay away from stylists that require you to do that. For my 4C girls, I know it can be a little hard to style your hair without stretching it or straightening it. So one that I recommend is the threading method. You can use a threading method to stretch your hair, or you could use a blow dry with heat tension method. I have videos on it. I'm going to go ahead and insert it right here. But you could use a blow dry with heat tension method to stretch your hair and put it on the cool or medium setting. You don't want to do high heat because the heat denatures or destroys the protein in your hair, and over time you're going to see your curls become looser, and that's like heat damage like starting to emerge. So threading method, blow dry with heat tension method, that's for girls who can't braid their hair without having to stretch it, because I've been there. I was crying when they would part my hair. I'm like, we wanted to get out of my seat, girl. Yeah, I've been there. Tip number three is also something that I have experienced with stylists. This is something that started early on in my natural hair journey, is that whenever I would get my hair braided, stylists would cut around my hair. to like cut away like the flyaways, or like, you know, to make the braid look a bit neater. But what I was realizing was that I was spending months protecting my hair, growing half an inch per month. And then when I would go, stylists would cut around my braids. I'm like, Auntie, I just spent a whole month braiding my hair and you just cut it away. Like, you just cut it away to make my hair look neat. And the main reason why I'm even doing this hairstyle is to retain my length. So yeah, stay away from a stylist that also can, like, if they can tuck your hair in to make sure that your braid looks neat and they have to cut around it, I'm a side-eye, like, just side-eye them. Like, you know, make sure you find a stylist that could start, like, they could tuck and then you could just pull it in water and it comes out neat. Like, don't be cutting, like, trimming is different from continually having to, like, cut around your hair. It's a bit tiny, but for me, it made a difference in my hair. Tip number 4 is the take down process of your hair. So how long is it taking you to take down your hair? Is it like an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours? For me, I'm very gentle with how I take down my hair. I'm very affectionate with how I take care of my hair. My hair and I, we go on dates. Like, I put on Netflix, I get some orange juice, and I just, you know, start unraveling my hair, and I'm very gentle with it. When you take your hair out, you have lint and products build up wrapped around your hair, and if you don't take your time taking that out, that could literally make or break your hair. So what I like to do, I'm gonna insert pictures here because I've done it on my channel. What I like to do is that I apply a little bit of conditioner. It could be deep conditioner or leave-in. I just apply it around that lint, and what it does is that it really helps to soften the dirt and product buildup and all that oil and sebum. And I could go in there and separate my hair and get that lint out without having to break my hair. If you're not taking your time in your take-up process, there's no reason to protect your styling, because you just look, unless you're doing it for like the aesthetic and, like, you know, because braids look nice, they just give you an instant like facelift. Unless you're doing it for that, like, I would recommend really honestly taking your time when you know, go on dates with your hair. It's not like let me not speak for you. Let me speak for me. I'm going on dates with my hair. Okay. For tip number 5, I wanted to help make a distinction between shed hair and broken hair, like hair that's broken. So with shedding is normal. Like, the average person's hair sheds about 100 strands per day. So when you take your hair out, you have to measure it relative to the length of your hair. So if your hair is this long and the shedding is this long, then you know that that's normal. But if it's shorter, then you got to reevaluate. Like, I know my hair is tailbone length. So whenever I take my hair out, I just measure the length. If so, it's just like about this long, then I'm like, okay. But if it's short, then I'm like, Auntie, you gotta reevaluate. So, you know, so then I reevaluate what hairstyle that I had in. Like, did I try a new hairstyle and like my hair broke off? So I know not to redo that. So it's important to really know the distinction between shedding and breaking hair. If your hair is shedding and you're not losing, like, it's not like big chunks of shedding, and it's like longer, like normal shedding, then you should be fine. But if the hair you always get out, it's shorter than your actual length, then your hair is breaking off and you want to reevaluate the type of protective styling that you might be doing. Tip number, I think we're on tip number 6, right? Yeah, see, if I lose the numbers, do not fault me for that, because I think we're on tip number 6. Okay, so tip number 6 is not leaving your hair in for the right amount of time. For me personally, I feel like I retain the most length and experience the most growth the longer my hair is in protective styling. So I tend to do a 6-week protective styling, and that once that 6 weeks is out, I just take it out and then redo the steps that I've talked about before. With this though, I have in helping like people grow their hair, I've noticed that not everyone is like me. People tend to have scalp issues. There are people that can't go a week without having to redo their hair. So if you're that type of person, you want to find a protective styling that works for you in that 1 week. And in that 1 week, make sure that you're not manipulating your hair, you're not messing with it too much. You're just very low maintenance every week. So you want to find a protective styling that you could leave in for the right amount of time. And you're not going to figure this out in like a week or a month. It's trial and error. So it's like you're going to have time to make mistakes, and go ahead and allow yourself to do that. I had to figure it out. So 6 weeks works for me. And then 4 weeks might work for you. A week might work for you if you have scalp issues. With this rule though, there is an exception. Some people tend to go 3 months, 4 months without having to do your hair. I wouldn't really recommend that, because to me, that's like neglecting your hair. The more your hair stays in, yeah, you're retaining that length. But once you take it out, you're going to see that your hair is matted. And once it's matted, you get frustrated with your hair. You can't get enough time. You don't make enough time to gently like get all that shed hair and like matted hair out. And it does more harm than good to me in my eyes. So I wouldn't recommend not leaving it for too long and not leaving it in for too short. If you don't have any scalp issues, then I recommend starting with monthly protective styling to see what that does for you. And there's not really a bad protective style. I think a good protective style is a style that works for you, a style that you could afford and be able to take care of it and redo it over and over. So if it's like low bun, if it's like knotless braids, like cornrows, it's like something that you could repeat over and over again. Okay, actually I lied. I know I said there's not a bad protective style, but there kind of is. Well, personally, for me, I think wash and goes are the worst. So for tip number 7, I do think there's certain styles that, you know, you need to stay away from, because wash and goes, especially like as a 4C girl, why are you doing wash and goes? Because, you know, like it's gonna look good in the moment, but in the afternoon your hair is going to be dried up and like you gonna look crazy. So I don't know why people do like the wet hair look, the wash and goes, but I don't like them particularly because, like, first of all, you can't just wash your hair and go. Like, I'm 4C, I'm in the shower crying, like, you know, it's like you can't just wash your hair and go. And I think the idea of wash and goes, unless you have very loose curls, is I just wouldn't recommend it, because it's not enough time that goes into it, into taking care of your hair. So just be mindful of the type of protective styling that you're doing. If you're doing knotless braids that require you to take it out every, like, I don't know, 3 weeks, and then you're usually used to doing 6 weeks of protective styling, I wouldn't recommend that, you know. But if you have sensitive scalp, like I said, and you could do twists, like you could wear a mini twist, then that's like a cute, like low maintenance type hairstyle. So yeah, my tip number 8, I can't count. My tip number 8 is to track your growth and do length checks. So you might be seeing me on my channel pulling my hair. If you see me doing that, it's not to brag, but you know, to track my process. So if I do a hairstyle and I notice that this, after I take it out, my hair is significantly shorter than how I had it before, I'm not going to go back and do that hairstyle because it did not work for me. On the other hand, if that hairstyle made me retain more length than I usually do, then I know that style works for me and I'll go back and redo that hairstyle. You know, it's ridiculous to keep trying something that's not working for you and expect different results. Like, it's not going to come. So like I said, it's all try and error. So like, readjust as you see it. If you keep doing something and it's not working for you, please go ahead and do something else. I know there are trends out there, and how some hairstyles look really good. You know, I want to get the butterfly locks, I want to get knotless braid, I want to get all of that, but if that's not working for me, I'm not going to go back to it. If length and thickness, you know, it's your goal. And I do want to say that I always try to give advice that you could personalize. These advices are not like a one size fit all. I know people have different textures, different length, different scalp issues, scalp sensitivity. So I try to like give advice that you could personalize. You could take away from this video what you want, but also my advice, or what I've learned from helping people grow their hair, my personal journey in growing my hair, and also a bit of like research and scientific research. So don't be like, oh, like Kelsey said to do this, so I'm just, you know, so it's like, try to personalize it as you go in it. Everyone is different. I'm just here to try it and give you, you know, I'm just here to be like your guinea pig in a sense. Like, I'm your human guinea pig. So use me for your hair journey if, you know, length and thickness is what you're looking for. It's that simple. That's what we do here on this channel. It's that simple. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 is your detangling process. If you're gonna lose hair, it's usually when you're braiding or like putting in the protective styling or detangling your hair. So when you're detangling, make sure, if you can, to stay away from really small tiny combs or those brushes. I have found that, you know, your hands, finger detangling, these are like, you know, your natural God-given detanglers. You know, finger detangling works really well in like just addressing the knot and just going there, separating the hair and getting, either if it's like lint or shedding or whatever you need to get out of your hair, it really helps to get it out of there. I know it can be hard when you start. That's why I recommend going on dates with your hair. Just put on the show that you like and just finger detangle, and you're not even gonna notice it. Like, over time, you build muscle memory to it, and it just comes naturally to you. Also, tangle teasers. I've been trying tangle teasers, and they've been working really well when I use it along with my products. And that's all, like, another thing. Invest in good products. Like, so many people spend so much money. Like, people spend $300, put it in protective styling. So if you're gonna spend that type of money to get your hair styled, you should invest that type of money into getting good products that soften your hair so that you could go in and detangle with ease, products that moisturize, keeps your hair moisturized for about a week, so you're not, you know, going back and like moisturizing your hair. And yeah, my tip number 10 is your vitamins and minerals. They're really important. Like, it's really important to take care of your hair externally, but it's also equally important to take care of your hair internally. Personally, I did a blood work, and then I found out that I was deficient in vitamin D and iron. So I would have these phases during my hair journey where I would not be experiencing any hair growth, and lack of vitamin D really explains why I wasn't growing my hair, because the purpose of vitamin D when it comes to hair is to help create new hair follicles. So if you're lacking that vitamin D, then you're not creating or maintaining your hair follicles. I am also anemic, so iron helps carry oxygen, you know, to your like hair cells, like to your hair follicles and stuff like that. So if you're low in iron, so then it's like the iron, like the oxygen carrying nutrients to your hair follicles might be decreased. So, you know, you want to make sure that you check in with your body. If you are not the type of person to take supplements, then I would also recommend taking moringa. Moringa is like, it's such a powerful nutrient. Like I remember when I was little, we would put it like in our food, like we would put it in our soups. It has all the nutrients that you could think of, and you can make smoothies with it. You could drink it. There are moringa teas in there. I also have it in my hair care line. I have it in my deep conditioner, so you could also purchase that and apply it ectopically. Fenugreek is also another really important type of nutrients. There are fenugreek teas. You could also do fenugreek rinses. I have shown lots of videos on my channel. Oh my god, I feel like this video is just going to be me just inserting clips, but yeah, fenugreek also really works really well. Ayurvedic herbs like bringraj, amla, all those works really well. And yeah, I think that is most of it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do hope that you got something from this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I try to offer concise advice, but also explain really in depth so that you guys could understand and like see where I'm coming from. And yeah, please consider please subscribing to my channel. I have a lot of really great content coming for you guys, and it really helps me out. So yeah, consider subscribing to my channel. Consider sharing this video with anyone that you think might benefit from it, so that we could continue like growing and taking care of our hair and representing each other in the best way that we can. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me and for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and see you in my next video. Love ya. Bye. So these are all the ingredients that I talked about. You can find on my website or Moringa Deep Conditioner. Here are the reviews on the product. Do check it out, read it. I highly suggest and recommend getting it. And then we have our moisturizing leave-in conditioner. Again, it has the reviews. Each product has a review, so you could go ahead and read it. We have our hair growth serum. And then we have our Bringraj Ayurvedic oil, and then we have the aloe vera oil. All of this are on our website. It's www.curlsys.com. Curlsys is KCURLSYS.com. Curlsys.com. You can find it in there. I'll also link it in the description box. And yeah, see y'all in my next video.